Hi everyone, how are you doing? Have you missed me? Well, I'm back and today I thought I would do a whip parade. So I'm going to show you my knitting projects. I've got one diamond painting and then just all my current cross stitch projects as well. I haven't done masses since last film my floss tube, if I'm honest, but I can't really remember where I was and what I've shown you all. So it's just easier to go through like a whip parade. I will be doing life updates as I go along. I will address the elephant in the room. So on Monday, I was sat at work and my tooth fell out. So I might be a little bit lispy and a little bit, gappy throughout this video. Luckily, I work in healthcare, so I have seen a consultant who's possibly going to do surgery just to remove the broken bit and mank you one next to it, then hopefully put something in it. But for now, this is what I look like. Yeah, it's I'd like to say it was really bad luck, but I should have probably looked after my teeth a lot better. And now I'm just expecting huge dental bills, and yeah, but apart from that, I'm absolutely grand. So I'm going to jump straight into it really, because I can envision this being a long video. So I'm going to start with my knitting. I've only got 3 things to show you, so I thought if I get that out of the way. So first up, I have been knitting a pair of socks. This is the pattern I'm using. So it's quite a plain pattern. And I've got this far. Do a bit of untangling. I thought it was quite organised with this video, so hopefully it will run smoothly. So this is how far I've got with the first sock. So obviously this is the cuff that you put your foot into, and then you've got the heel. It's really hard to show you with 4 needles attached. The heel, and now I'm onto the foot part. I'm using this really lovely wool, and I have no idea what it's called, like off the top of my head. But if anyone would like to know, I will, pop a comment and I'll reply back to you and I'll find it. So it looks like this. And yeah, the pattern's just really lovely. It went a bit awry there, probably because of the heel turn. But I've never knitted socks before. And I mean, 4-ply, it takes quite a long time to knit up anyway. So I just hope that after finishing the first one, I don't think, sod it, and just completely forget about it. So I'm going to try and put things away as I go. You can't see because it's off camera, but I have got my cross-stitch box that I can put things back into as well. So I haven't made videos for a really long time because I've been studying. So I've been doing my degree in English literature and creative writing. And I've very nearly finished the first year now, so I've got one more essay for one module, and then once that's submitted, it's just like the final, they're called EMAs, electronically marked assessment, I think they stand for. And so I've got one for each module at the end of the year, so they're like 2,000 words each. So one's in creative writing. I'm going to write mine based on someone entering a prison for the first time. So I'm hoping with my years of watching prison documentaries and all of that, I'm hoping I can do it justice. And then the other one is an argument or a debate piece on, well, you've got 4 options to choose from, and I've chosen to do it on Buddhism. So yeah, and then I'm done for the year. And then I'm pleased to say that next year I'm actually only going to do 1 module because I've got a new job now, which I'll talk about in a little while. And it's just too much trying to study full-time, work full-time, have a small child, have hobbies. So I'm going to just drop it down to 1 module, and it means that it'll take me 5 years instead of the 3 years that I was hoping for now. But I think that's okay, like slow and steady wins the race and all that. And luckily for this year, I've actually got really good grades throughout. I've got 1 distinction, and then all my others were just under the distinction line. So I've been really happy with those grades. So anyway, back to the projects. The next thing I want to show you, it's called the J sweater. It is a free pattern, so if you knit and you're on Ravelry, search for the J sweater and the pattern will come up. I don't actually have a picture of the finished project. Yeah, the finished project at the moment. I'm going to try and avoid having to insert things on the screen if I can help it, but if I end up doing so, I will put a picture in. But this is how far I've got. So it's for me, obviously this is the neckline, and I've got as far as the sleeves, and I'm just starting to do the body now. So again, because I'm a larger lady, it takes me a really long time to knit stuff for myself, but I'm really pleased with this so far. I've never made myself a jumper because it is just a lot of knitting. This is actually really budget wool. It's we've got a sewing machine shop here in Reading, and they sell balls of wool for like £2 a ball, so that's what I did. But it's very soft, and yeah, obviously I'm knitting it in the round, so not too much sewing up at the end, which is great. And yeah, so to be continued. You will see it finished eventually, hopefully. Although sometimes I think, because I do want to lose weight, I think, God, am I going to lose weight before I've knitted the jumper? Maybe. It'll be just nice and slouchy then. Right, so I'll pop that over there. I am sat in my bedroom, so this is literally above my head where I sleep at night. My mum bought this for me years ago and I've just loved it ever since. I do wonder why it's back to front, or if it's just back to front for me and then you'll see it the right way around. Who knows? Anyway, so next up, or lastly for my knitting, is Bluebell the mouse. And I thought she was very sweet. Although now I'm thinking, what am I going to do with her once she's done? But my friends, they have little girls, so they might appreciate her once she's done. She was in December issue 2022 of Let's Knit magazine. So sometimes on Free Cycle, people will give away huge stacks of knitting magazines, and I always go and collect them if I can. Same with cross stitch magazines, and I was determined to try and make one thing out of each magazine. This is the first one. So this is Bluebell the mouse so far. You're going to have to excuse the ends. I just haven't weaved them in properly yet. So here she is. She's very sweet. I always think sewing toys together is quite hard when they're knitted. She looks a bit deranged. But no, I'm sure a little one would absolutely love her. So I am going to try and finish her. So that's it for my knitting. I did have a few other things on the go. So I had a Fireman Sam jumper for Sid. But I don't know why it is with Fireman Sam projects. I just can't ever get into them to actually finish them. He's now begging me for a pair of socks. But because he's only got little feet, I don't think they'll take very long. So I might cast on those for him. And next up, I'm just going to show you my diamond painting because I've only got the one, and then we can go onto the cross stitch. It's exciting stuff. So this has been going on for a really long time, and I leave it gathering dust, and then I'll go back to it and I'll do a really small amount, and it goes on like that. But last week, I reckon I literally sat there and did like a quarter of this diamond painting. Now it has got a protective film over it, so it might be a bit, like, have a bit of glare on it. So it's practically done, actually. I don't know if you can see that. So these black ones are all done. So it's just in the leaves, the black background, and the blue background, and then just some leaves here and there. Oh, and the ear in there. Okay, so I reckon I've probably done about 2/3 now, just over 2/3. But I was always a bit unsure about doing diamond paintings because I never knew what I'd actually do with them when they're done. But I think this one's so sweet and it's come out so clearly that I would be inclined to frame this one. Love it. Honestly though, I think this has been sitting around for probably 2 years at least. I've got quite a few sealed that I could do. And if I can prove to myself that I will sit and do these, I will spend the money to do a Diamond Art Club one eventually. They're so expensive. So yeah, that's that one. And I think I just bought that one on Amazon, like, again, a few years back. But if you like it and you search rabbit diamond painting, then I'm sure it probably will still come up. So I honestly don't even know where to start with these cross stitches. There's so many now. Just grab one and start. So it was my mum's birthday on the 29th of February. She's a leap year baby. So about 5 days before, I started a new cross stitch because I honestly believed that I could finish this before her birthday. And did I? No, I did not. So it's out of a magazine. It's a very old design. I can't think of her name. Margaret Sherry. So it's a Margaret Sherry design. And oh, I just remembered, while I'm filming it's back to flat front, but when I go to edit it, I flip it and then it'll be the right way around. So just for you, Mum. So funnily enough, when I was growing up, my mum, she had hedgehogs absolutely everywhere in the house, like little ornaments, pictures. And I remember one day saying to her, "You must really love hedgehogs, like they're everywhere." And she said, "No, not really. Somebody started buying me them once and then everyone else just carried on." And seriously, they were absolutely everywhere. So any birthday, Christmas, anything, people would just buy her a hedgehog. So I just thought it was really funny. She would like this because it's cute. So, and this is how far I've got so far. What I could do with is, if I get that pattern back, I can back them as I go along. Maybe that way. So if I show you with this, that's most of the big hedgehog done now. I don't know what it looks like finished. I don't think there ever was a finished picture in this magazine. Obviously I tore the page out, but you can see the writing on the bottom because it was an anchor and I just don't do anchor threads. So I looked online for a DMC converter, and then instead of using my actual DMCs, I have a bag of just unbranded threads. So I went through each and every one, and so I'd get, for example, I don't know, 966. It's the green one. And so I got my 966 out of my DMCs, and then I just tried to find the closest in unbranded. For such a small cross stitch, it's absolutely fine. And I don't know if you can see that, it's got a really sparkly, I don't know how well it will show on camera, really sparkly thread going through it. So I was just trying to use what I had really, rather than buy new things. So I'm just going to start grabbing them, and whatever one ends up in my hands is what I'll show. Next up is my Vavaco hedgehog cushion. So I know for sure I've worked on this since I've last shown it. I've said it before, but I really don't like the texture of the canvas, so I'll do it for a little bit, but it never lasts very long. And turn around. I don't know how to show this because you're going to see through the holes. Maybe I'll use a pillow. But this is, if I use the dark side, that would help. This is how far I've got so far. I can't see what I'm showing. So I'm basically just over the halfway mark, to be fair. So most of that side's done. Back a bit. and a teeny little bit on that side. So I think this is going to look so good when it's done. Thing is, because I've got kids, well, I've got a kid and a step kid, they're messy little buggers, and I don't know if I'll feel safe having this on my sofa. Probably end up with drinks spilt on it or bogies, so it might end up living in my bedroom. Maybe I'll gift it to my mum, another hedgehog. Oh hey, that's that one. Now this box is very precariously balanced here, so if you hear a crash, it's because it's dropped off. Oh, I've got to reshuffle. So next up, which one? Oh, I've got one in my bedside table. I've just remembered. They're just bloody stashed everywhere. So I did an unboxing video for this one the other day, and I got it from Outdoor Tide, and I was just sorry, it's going to rustle for a minute. I was just so excited to get it started. So then I decided, what if I did it as if I was doing a Heaven and Earth one, sort of like Royal Rose and Parkin. And I've made an ever so slight start up here. But those colours, they're just going to be absolutely beautiful once they're done. I really do hope this one comes out like nice and clear, because sometimes with the printed ones, the quality of the picture is not always the best. Sorry. Right. Go in there. So next up we have, they are literally just sprawled over my bed, so just grabbing one randomly. I have my Moon Maiden cross stitch. This one's been in my videos since the very start, and I know for a fact I've worked on this one since my last video. So I don't think I'm going to pop it out the hoop, only because the bits that I'm missing are, as you can see, just the tips of the moon. So it was actually that way round. So you've got the moon itself, and then here, this is the maiden's arm, and this is the baby perched on her arm. This will be his head eventually. So I've worked a lot just on her arm since my last video. I believe the moon's completely finished now, so yeah. I would like this finished. I started doing it when Sid was born. I was going to put it in his bedroom. Now, obviously now he will not be interested. Unless it's like a Paw Patrol or a Fireman Sam picture, he's not going to be interested. But I definitely want to get this one done. It'll be so beautiful when it finally is. I think the actual design looks so much better than the picture itself. Although this kit, I can imagine, comes from, yeah, 1996. It's very nearly as old as I am. It's 5 years younger than me. So, like, I think that one might be the only one I'm working on that's on Dark Ada as well. So, I really enjoy working on it. When I finally work on it, I do enjoy it. So next, so what I've done with the ones that are on Pattern Keeper, I've started charging the tablet. Oh, is it going to reach? No. So what I can do, instead of inserting the pictures, because it becomes a very long-winded way of editing the video. So what I'm going to do is just use the tablet. So next up is my summer memory jars. This is designed by Susan Bates, and it can be bought on Etsy. My mum's also doing this one, and I absolutely love it. You can buy Christmas jars too. I've seen some floss tubers doing the Christmas ones as well. So I just realised I haven't been explaining like counts and stuff. Well, the Vavaco cushion is just that horrible canvas stuff. God knows what count that is, but it's bigger than 11 count for sure. And then the jellyfish design is an 11 count printed. And the Moon Maiden is 14 count, but they're all kits so far. This one, however, I'm doing on a 20 count sparkly even weave. And this is my progress so far. So I haven't got very far with it. A day at the beach. You can see the sparkle. And then I've just started the cliff top walk one, I think the other one is. I'll show you on here. Try not to drop the tablet. So it's the very middle and then this one that I'm just starting now. I think I'm most looking forward to doing the tent at the very top. Top right. That one. They're just so sweet. I think they're going to look lovely when they're completed. So I'll fold this one up. Susan Bates does quite a lot of really nice designs. So if anyone fancies going Etsy shopping, go and have a look. A lot of her designs get printed in the magazines, which I have got this in a magazine format, but I wanted it on Pattern Keeper, so I decided to go buy it as well. So next up, this is probably the cross stitch that I've worked on the most. I'm just trying to find it on Pattern Keeper. So this is Tagalongs. It's by Hannah Disney, Heaven and Earth Designs. And I am doing this on a 32 count printed Ada. Or printed even weave, whatever. I never know the difference between Ada and even weave and all that. I'll try and move things around. And like I said, I've put a lot of work into this one. And this is where I'm at so far. I just love those sweet little penguins. I will tell you now, all of this white is DMC Light Effect, and it is an absolute pig to use. It's awful. But I believe I've finished using it, like I've got a 0 on that colour now, I believe. Or do I? I might have a tiny little bit left to do down here actually. To my dismay. But yeah, it's such a small cross stitch. So this line here is actually the very bottom of the cross stitch. So that's just it in total. It's tiny. And I'm doing this 2/1/10 stitch. So I think that's pretty good coverage really. Just honestly don't even look at the mess that is this. I'm hoping it just looks cleaner, neater once it's finished. There's just no way of stitching it so it's pristine at all. It's awful stuff to use, and I just will never ever in my life use it again after this one. So in fact I'm going to throw the rest of it away once I'm finished. I don't even want it in my house. So next up, this one's huge, so I don't think I'm gonna fully show it. I'm just gonna show what I've done. So I'm trying to see if I've got a picture somewhere. I don't think I do. I'll try and show this tiny little picture so you get the gist. So it's from the film Tangled. I hope you can see that okay. And to be honest, I'm not very confident that this is going to come out how it's supposed to come out. but I'll keep going for now. And what I've done so far, I'll show you from the back. So I've done a fair bit. It's an absolute mess. I'll show you from the front. So basically I've been working on her hair that wraps around the whole picture. So all this blue is going to be yellow, basically. Yeah, I don't know, I just don't see how in such a small amount of threads or different colours how detailed it's going to come out. I don't have a lot of faith in this one. I will work on it for a bit, and even if I try and do the first section and if it comes out awful, I will just scrap it and use the threads for something else, basically. So, put that in there. Next one, I haven't done any. I know I haven't done any of this since I last made a video, but it's another Janlin kit. It's my Daisy girl. I do absolutely love this design, but when I'm going through my cross stitches trying to look for something to do, it just never jumps out at me. This is where I'm at so far. So I've done the bodice of her dress and a bit of her arm, and that's it really. I do absolutely love this oatmeal fabric though, although I've just noticed at the top there's some like brown marks. That usually comes when a needle's like rusted in it. So again, I think this is probably from the 90s as well. 99, so a bit younger than the Moon Maiden. But I always just love Janlin kits. They're just always they're laid out very well. They're easy to follow. Can't get the blooming thing back in now. Right. What's that? Right, I'm going to just pause for a second. I'm really thirsty. Sorry about that. I just wanted to grab this. That is practically empty because what happens is I fill up a drink, I leave it on my bedside table, and then Sid comes along and drinks it all. For those who are new to this channel, Sid is my 4-year-old toddler. Well, he's not a toddler. My 4-year-old son. And he is very cute, but he is a massive pain in the bum. So next up, I will show you this Ank kit I have. It's just called Owls. And I do love this one. I'm not too sure I've worked on this since my last video either. But this is where I'm at so far. Very sweet. So that owl face is do you know what? I don't actually know. I think it's this one here. So I do want to get this done. I'm absolutely owl mad, so any owl cross stitch I always enjoy. Actually, that's a lie. I do have another owl cross stitch and I actually don't enjoy doing it at all. But that's because it's a a Christmas one, and I never really enjoy Christmas stitches, to be honest. I don't know why. I do like Christmas, but yeah, I just never enjoy them that much. So let's just grab one. Next up is, ooh, flick it at you, the Jelly Bean Cat. And I know Tracy is also doing this one, and she's found the same issue as me. But for some reason, I'll show you my progress. For some reason, there's like a red strip at the top. And I just wonder whether the colours on this one is not going to come out very well at all. I'll show you the back. See, I've done more than you thought. Ooh. But again, with this one, I will just carry on until... Well, I'll carry on, and then if it looks like I'm wasting my time, I will just stop. But, and just keep the threads. But I hope that's not the case, because, I mean, it is a really cute design. If anyone else has this one, let me know. I'd be happily to do I'd happily do a stitch along with you guys. But yeah, adorable. I'm really happy about dropping a module for next year because it just means I can keep making videos. It means I have more time for stitching and other hobbies. We did buy a Nintendo Switch not too long ago, so I'd like to spend more time playing that as well. So next up, I really don't want to put a picture on the screen, so you might just have to either look back at my other videos if you want to see, or look at the chart quickly. So, you see it like that. Just kick that drink over. It's a Country Companions. It's called I Love You. I can't see. It is 2 hedgehogs on a bench. And a balloon. And I don't think I've worked on this since my last video either, but it is coming along, and this is what I've got so far. So yeah, there has been good progress on this. This is literally the most plasticky 14 count Ada, cheap Ada I have ever felt in my life, but it will do, it will do. And I am just using my DMC threads out of my box for this one. Just normal 14 count, bog standard. Sorry, I am going to bend down and pick up this drink. My bed's really high up, so that's a bit of a stretch. Yeah. So... I do have another life update though. I have a new job. It's still at the same hospital that I was working at before, but instead of being an engineering assistant, pause for effect, I am now a procurement lead. Sorry, it's hard to say with missing tooth. And unfortunately, my tooth fell out on my 2nd week being there. But because I'm not in a new business, because I'm not like in a new business or a new place, everyone knows me already, so it hasn't been it hasn't been a massive switch, but I've now got my own little team. There is only 3 of us at the moment, but I think in time there probably will be more of us, so I am enjoying it. I used to work in theatres years ago, like the operating theatres, and that's sort of where this job is located for now. So I've sort of gone back to my roots. Ooh. So next up is... so this is another Heaven and Earth, so I'll find it on the tablet. I'll go back. Cradle by Moonlight by... Molly Harrison, and I have got quite a few of her charts, so it's this one here. How gorgeous is that? I absolutely love it. Again, this was another one I bought when around the time Sid was born. I was obsessed with babies, and I definitely haven't done any of this since my last video. When I first bought this chart, it was all guns blazing, and I practically finished the first page, like quickly, very quickly. And just since then, I've just not been feeling it. So I think this is a 25 count linen, And I'm just trying to look at my stitches. I can't tell what I'm doing. I think I've been doing 2 over 1 full cross. So it's like it's very sturdy. It's like a patch, like an embroidery patch. So that's how far I've done so far. I mean, the first page ends literally there. So you can see on the next page, I really haven't done much at all. Oh, and it ended where my little finger is. So I've done a little bit underneath and a little bit up here. And that is that. Very cute. The colours are amazing. And I absolutely love this little star up here. And I think that's it. With a lot of Heaven and Earth, when you start, you don't see details for a really long time. But with this one, I did straight away. So it just made me want to carry on. And I'm sorry, it's suddenly got really glary in here. The light's just, not the light, the sun's just made an appearance. I'm really happy about springtime. It's, I think I suffer a bit from seasonal depression. So when the sun comes out, I just instantly become happy. Or happier. So next up, I mean, again, this is another Heaven and Earth. Pop this. Have I not got it on here? Oh, I do. View PDF. This is probably the smallest Heaven and Earth I've ever found. So this one's called Bo Peep. I think it's adorable. Absolutely adorable. And it's by Nancy Faulkner. And if you were to do this on 18 count, I've never seen Heaven and Earth design being designed on 18 count. So yeah, if you were to do it on 18 count, it would only be 5.5 by 6 3/4 inches. So that's literally like maybe the size of my hand. However, I can't quite remember what I'm doing it on. I'm going to just say I'm doing it on 25 count or 28. 25 is the most likely, I think. And this is my progress so far. And that is literally the width of it. It's about the width of my hand. It's as big as it's going to be. Sorry, I've gone all croaky. So yeah, progress hasn't been the greatest on this one. I don't know. I really liked it when I started it. Like, my piece of fabric's only that big. And I reckon even top quarter, I'm going to have some fabric left. Yeah, when I saw it, I really liked it. And again, it's just one of those cross stitches where out of all of the ones that I have here, it just doesn't jump out at me when I'm looking for something to do. But I will crack on. I'm going to say that for everything. I obviously plan to do all of them eventually. So next up, this is the owl one I said I don't actually enjoy doing very often. And, I just found my little cube. I completely forgot about this. It's got an unpicker, a foldable pair of scissors, tiny little quartz jar, and a highlighter in it. I'm going to keep that out. Now I found it. I do love my project bag for this. Okay, this one's on a Q-snap. I'm going to just unpop it quickly. I'll probably keep the Q-snap off, So this is the design. I don't know. This is probably my least favourite cross stitch. I mean, I do like it. I just don't like stitching it. And apologies, it's all going to be creased because it's been on Q-snap. But this is my progress so far. As you can see, I've completely finished one owl, and I've just started stitching this owl's mitten. And I don't know if you can hear shouting in the background, but my other half has taken the kids in the garden, my window's open, and all I can hear is them shouting. Sid's very bossy these days, like bosses Tom around, which is his half brother. Right, put that in there. Right, next is, okay, next is Another Heaven and Earth, and it's called Babysitting by Linda Ravenscroft. I absolutely love this design. I think it's gorgeous. In fact, all of her artwork is gorgeous. All of it. Very like folky. What are they calling folk looking things now? Cottagecore, toadstools. This one's going to be huge though. The fabric is huge. Just untangle it. I'm sorry if you can hear the shouting. I'm like, shh, shh, shut up. Oh, Sydney. That is my progress so far on this one. I love it. It's gorgeous. I believe this is 25 count, and I believe I'm doing 2/1 full cross, and the fabric is massive. So yeah, I love that one. I think with the bigger projects, I've been trying not to do them only because I've needed to focus on uni. But I'm half tempted to even do the EMAs early, just so I can have quite a few months off before the next one starts. Oh, and this was a project bag I made myself. It is very wonky stitching wise, but I was quite proud of that. Oh, dropped the drink again. I'm so thirsty. I might have to actually pause this video and go get another drink. It's empty. Right. So next up, do this one. Again, so Susan Bates, who I mentioned with the memory jars, she also designed this. And it is from April 2020 cross stitcher. Gorgeous. And this is another one that I just don't pick up very often, but when I do, I always enjoy it. So I don't know why I don't pick it up. So let me find something dark. So I've fully completed one hot air balloon minus the back stitching, and I've just started the other. And I've tried to kind of get a matching needle minder. Does anyone else do that? Right. Come on. Right, next up, I think I've got the most pathetic start on this ever. So it's this one. I believe it's It could be a Joy Sunday. Yeah, it is a Joy Sunday. Oh, there you go. That's a proper picture. And my mum bought me this. Obviously, I like owls. And I don't know. I don't like stitching this one for some reason. It is only small. And I have only done literally like a bit of the browns. Yeah. It's that one. It's all tangled. I'm starting to see my bed again, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to show. What I might do actually is show this one, only because it's on a scroll frame, so I can't actually show you, and I've tensioned the sides so it is taut. It's only because scroll frames just sit so much nicer on my Lowry than anything else, and if it's a Heaven and Earth one, then I just feel like that's the best way to go. So this one, it's ripples, and I'll show you the actual picture. If I get the tablet up and gearing. View PDF. It's a story keep, so it's only like a bookmark size. Well, it's not even a bookmark size. It's a bookmark shaped cross stitch. You can see that okay. So my part of the cross stitch is literally above her head now, I believe. See if we can see resemblance. So a dark branch. So yeah, it is literally at this branch here. I'll show you again. Put it against me, dark t-shirt, dark branch, and let's face it, I am looking forward to moving on to her and then the fish, because that is much more exciting than all this just light white and dark green. That's been it the whole way through. But yeah, it is a gorgeous design. So that is Ripples by Stephanie Pumanlaw. Hope I said her name right. And then while I'm on the tablet, I'll show you another one. So Amongst the Koi, and this is by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I can't say that with my tooth. Griffith. And again, this one is gorgeous. This was the one I started when I got my Lowry for my birthday last year. Well, I ended up lending the Lowry to my mum, and she had it from the time, roughly around the time I started my degree, until about 2 weeks ago. So I have got it back now. And this is my progress so far. So just her face. This one, again, it's a 32 count printed Ada. And I know you won't see the Ada once I've done a full coverage cross stitch, but it's what I had on hand. It's nice and light to stitch over, so that's okay. I think I'm doing this one 10th stitch. Let's have a look. Yeah, so this is 2 over 1 10th stitch. I just think it's just going to look amazing when it's done. It really will. I was really enjoying. I did like all of this stitching, and it's quite a lot in the space of like a couple of weeks, and I just haven't touched it since. It's kind of the story of my life with my cross stitches. I'm over that. Right, I've got 1, 2, 3, 6 more to go. So next up, okay, I've got 5 more to go because this is one that I swapped cross stitches with my mum so we could try and finish a bit of each of us cross stitch to try and encourage us to continue stitching, and I've never touched it and she's never touched the one I gave her either. So I think we need to like pass these on to someone else, man. They're never going to get done ever, probably. So next up, if I show you, I always call this Tracy's one because she was kind enough to send it to me. And I think I have worked on this quite a bit since my last video, but I haven't worked on it for a while. I've got a random thread. Pull that off. So, like always, I'll show you the back, even though it's messy. So I've got quite a lot of work done on it in total. Spin it round. So I've done quite a lot up here. I've started working on, I want to say it's a rabbit mask, isn't it? So I've done the ears. I've started doing the middle of the flower. A bit of blue up here. And a lot of the black in her hair. I tend to just pick a colour at random and then I try and do, like with the length I've got, I try and do as many in that colour as I can really with this one. So there's no rhyme or reason for my stitching with this one at all. Put that in there. I don't think I've really got any haul to show you either at the end, because to be honest, it does get to the point where you've got so many cross stitch items. I've actually been selling stuff online, some kits that I'm never going to do. I've just sold a big bundle of Country Companions cross stitches because it's just, I like them. They're not necessarily my taste anymore, and I think your tastes do just constantly change. So that's the great thing about cross stitching and the community online, is that you can sell them very easily, and you're not really wasting your money when you buy these things because they kind of retain their price as well. So next up is the Highland Cow. This is another one that I just don't really like the texture of it. So it does make me consider if I'm ever going to finish it. And I haven't picked it up since the last video. And the only bit I've done is at the very bottom, this white. So it's hardly even worth showing. Yeah. I don't know. If any of you like this cross stitch and maybe have one that you feel the same way about, like you don't like it for a certain reason, maybe we could have like a little swap. I think that'd be quite fun. So put that there. What was that one? Ah. So next up is my Dragon Girl. This is just a 14 count counted cross stitch. I've all of a sudden got a really sore dry throat. I don't know why. Knowing my luck, I'm getting ill, so I lost a tooth getting ill. That would be bad times. Right. I've actually got it on a Q-snap. So I think I have done quite a bit of this since I've last shown it. So where I'm at now is all that cream coloured bit going down here is this. So I'm really excited about this one. I love it. The colours do look a bit odd in her legs though. Like legs under the book, but I think it's like that in the picture anyway. So hopefully it'll look alright when it's done. If anyone out there has actually done this cross stitch, can you let me know if it comes out okay? Obviously I know it's the risk you take when you do a Joy Sunday or any sort of knockoffy type designs. Put that in there. Right. I can't remember if this folder closed. I don't think it did. Right. I think this is the second to last now. I think so. This is my favourite design out of every one I've got. But it's also the largest. It's the largest Heaven and Earth I've started, I believe. And it is Toil by Melanie Dellen. I've got a feeling they might have been retiring Dellen on Heaven and Earth, which is kind of sad. But obviously the parental advisory bit isn't stitched on there. You can actually see her boobies. But yeah, oh, I just love it. It's beautiful. So on this one, I actually decided to get gridded fabric. I don't think I've got more gridded fabric, but I've never used it before, apart from if it's like a printed design. And I've also decided just to do all the black stitches first. I've decided to stitch it in such a way where I'm going to do whatever has the most stitches first, which would be black. And then I might move on to do the one with the least stitches and just keep bouncing back and forth like that until I meet in the middle somewhere. Or I might just do the most, second most, like that. I don't know. Or I might end up doing all the black and then going cross country. Who knows? But this is a 32 count. Otherwise, honestly, it's huge on 32 count. It's and I'm stitching tent stitch 2/1, I think. Yeah, so it's 2/1. And I actually changed this, excuse me, I actually changed this from full cross to tent stitch partway through, so I don't think you can tell, but please let me know if you can. That's my progress so far. So that may not look like much, but if you think each of these small squares is 100 stitches, that's a lot of stitching. And the size of the fabric, you ready for this? It just keeps going and going and going and going. It is huge. And now I've got this one out, I might keep it out and do some later. Because it is just black stitches, what I tend to do, before I fold it up, I'll show you, is, you can see an example here actually. So I'll just stitch the outline of a block, like a block shape. So I did it for these ones. So I did all the outline, and then I can just sit there without my tablet and fill it in. It makes life so much easier. I might actually have to open up this tablet to tell you where I'm at and what I've done. Let's have a look. So far I've done 9,591 stitches out of 355,050 stitches. No, sorry, 355,500 stitches. And so far I am 2.7% through. So there you go. All the bits obviously in green is what's going to be black. And that's what I've done so far. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to keep this one out. It's the one I'm most excited about. And oh, I put the fabric over it. I love my bag. This is the one, look. Sit and Stitch. Made by Tally Cross Stitch. It's awesome. I'll keep this one out. And then last but not least is Moo by Bothy Threads. How cute is that? Adorable. I never know which way round's right, but I think it's that way. This is my progress. And I don't think I've done any of this since my last video. So I've noticed looking through this now, actually. Looking through and doing my WIP parade. That's it, by the way. That is all my projects, unless I've got some hidden somewhere. But looking through, I have a lot of kits on the go. Which, yeah, I don't know, my tastes have just changed so much. I don't feel like I'm in love with some of the ones that I have started previously now, but I'm almost too far along to just say screw it, I'm just going to bin them, or I wouldn't bin them, but you know, I'm going to give them to someone. So I think I might try and make a point of having one piece out at a time that I just want to crack on with. I was doing that for a little while, and so I had like Tag Along, the one with the penguins, that Heaven and Earth one. I had that on for 2 weeks straight, because long story short, my mum's doing exactly the same one, and she gets a lot more time to stitch than me, but I'm a lot more further along than her. So I was like, I want to finish it before her, and I want to you know, I want the magic of seeing it as a finished piece. But if she finishes before me, then I'm gonna have seen it finished, and it's gonna not make me want to carry on. So I was trying to race her for a bit. I've lost my train of thought. So having a focus piece, I think, is going to be the one way to get all of these done. But any bit of progress is progress at the end of the day. So that's my WIP parade. I'm going to try and do a video, I'm going to say monthly. If I do it more often, then cool. But if I don't, then I don't disappoint anyone, because I did say monthly. I'm going to try and catch up on a lot of your videos. I know I've mentioned her like twice or 3 times in this video already, but I always keep on top of Tracy's videos. Me and Sid actually watch them together. He loves watching Tracy. And there's a lot of others that I just haven't had the time to catch up on. So I'm going to try and do that today while stitching Toil, hopefully. And yeah, so that's the problem with having one focus piece, though. It just doesn't make for a good floss tube. It's like, hi, I'm Amy, welcome to my floss channel, and this is my one project. So for the sake of the channel, you know, any stitching is progress. So there you go. I don't think I have any more life updates or haul. I don't have anything going on whatsoever, really. I have got annual leave at the end of May, so I'm quite looking forward to that. But other than that, I'm quite boring, really. I just work and come home and stitch. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you all, and catch up on videos, do some stitching, and try not to leave it as long next time, and I'll catch you around soon. Bye.